Okay, you are now live. We are live.
All right. Hello.
Awesome. I'm just having a quick look on Facebook. Tune in to watch live. Yeah, it says it. It says it.
Yeah.
But should we just start and go ahead with, whilst people are finding us, just start and go ahead with some introductions and stuff. So, do you want to introduce yourself, Robbie?
Sure. Hi. So my name is Robby Zwizar. I'm based out of the United States, out of like New Jersey, New York area. And I do like what we call video solutions. So it's video strategy, video production, and video distribution as well. So it's kind of like an all-in-one video marketing solution, kind of similar to what Kim does. But we do it with video production, like live video, as opposed to animation and stock production, all that good stuff. So, yeah.
Cool. It's really interesting that you say that. You didn't just say, "Oh, I create video." You said, "Oh, I create
Right.
solutions." I like that. That
Mhm.
sounds good.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So just to sort of follow on with what Robbie was saying, for those of you that don't know me, I'm Kim Empson and I'm a video animator, and a little bit like what Robbie was sort of suggesting with his solutions. I like to create the content, but I also like to really help people, the businesses I work with, help them push out that content, help them get as visible as possible, guide them a bit more on using the video, not just, here's your video, see you later. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So obviously that's why we chose to do our Facebook Live together, because we knew that we had that like-minded way. And not only do we have that like-minded approach, but we both enjoy working with healthcare. So do you want to, Robbie, tell us a bit about some of the kinds of companies you've been working with?
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be perfect. So, really, like the target audience of who I work with is healthcare and nonprofit companies. Looking specifically to gain more traction online. So these could be companies that are completely new to social media, completely new to digital marketing, and then we can sort of act as your guide and help you throughout the entire process. Or seasoned companies that might just need a little bit of production, or want to take a second look at their online presence and what they're doing. So that's typically the companies that I'll work with. What about you? You're also healthcare, and obviously, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy working with healthcare as well. I feel like obviously people who have a healthcare organization or business, they are in the business of helping people.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, they're really nice people to work with, and I feel like I'm really helping more and more people and sort of really contributing to society a bit better. Because if it's healthcare, every time someone watches one of our videos, Robbie, it's like, it sounds so twee. Every time someone watches one of our videos, they're one step closer to getting the healthcare they need.
Exactly. That's what. That's kind of like the similar thing of what I thought too. And yeah, that's funny. That's
Yeah,
good.
so I'd rather that than, yes, buy more coffee off this really big fat company, or buy more hamburgers, eat more hamburgers, this other really big fat company, both of whom I have done content for before.
Right.
But yeah, even within the healthcare sector, it can be NHS videos, of course, because I'm based in the UK. It can be NHS related videos, which obviously are slightly different from other kind of videos, in that it's not about selling, it's not about getting new customers. It is about patient advocacy and generating awareness. So they are interesting campaigns to work on because of that slight difference, and I guess that's why it perhaps feels a bit more pleasant on the tongue. But aside from NHS stuff, there's also people who have healthcare apps. I've been doing quite a lot of that lately. I like doing that as well. So that can be that they want to reach out to more users, or reach out to the NHS and try and work with the NHS. And it can even be health insurance as well, even though I'm in the UK where there's NHS.
Yeah.
It can be health insurance as well. Because lots of employers over here do offer like a health insurance, or individuals just want private insurance. But equally, one of the health insurance ones I did, which was really interesting, Robbie, was a UK company that sells health insurance to developing countries where they don't get any kind of employee benefits, employee sick pay, or nothing. so they've developed this like micro insurance that they pay for through their phone to overcome, to overcome some of the differences in the currencies. So they've teamed up with different mobile providers. So that was so interesting to work with. And so we did it for a Cambodian audience, but they also did stuff for sort of African audiences and other places in Asia as well who don't have that. So, you know, that felt even more like, we're really helping to make a difference here. That was really good.
Great. Yeah, I mean, to add on to that, I think like video and video animation pair so perfectly, just because, I mean, it's like, especially in the healthcare industry, you have to explain a lot, right? I mean, especially even just to patients sitting in waiting rooms before, I've seen video that's been coupled with video animation work so well, just to explain what's going on and different things like that, which I think it's just so powerful. It works so well in the industry. So,
yeah, definitely. In loads of NHS waiting rooms, there's loads of video screens on the wall, like creating awareness of whatever it is that they're focusing on at the moment. So a lot of the NHS ones, they do a lot of research on what is sort of a problem within the community or public health, and then they create a campaign around that to, okay, we need to really combat excessive drinking, or we need to really combat smoking or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, we've had the same stuff, which is great. So
yeah, cool. Okay. Why should do we feel that we should be bothered about video? Why we love it, but why should healthcare providers be bothered, Robbie? Do you think?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so I get this question a lot because people say, well, you know, why not just nix it entirely and just go with like a social media approach, or why use one versus the other? And I really think that everything works together really, really well together, especially video along with other using other mediums to market your company, such as video animation or photography, whatever that might be, graphic design. I think that they all work together extremely well on the web. But again, video in particular, just because it works so well to really show your brand in action. I mean, you know, like you see a lot of, you know, I'd say like younger brands or newer brands that are really taking this very interesting approach of showing the brand in action, of what they're like behind the scenes. And that's something that video and video animation can really do for you. I think it's incredible because, you know, you don't just capture one moment, but you're capturing so many moments well on the web, which is just really powerful. So yeah, I mean, I think that that's okay. That's okay. But I mean, it's great for that, you know, and it's also available to just about everyone. I mean, like even video animation. I mean, I remember like there are apps that are starting to teach children to do like the most simple things, but I mean, you can like get some extremely complicated effects out of it. Free software such as Blender. I mean, like that's what I used to use back in the day. That really allows you to do so much for so little, and especially now, like I'm not sure if you've seen Apple's new promotion with what has been done with just the iPhone camera wise. It's incredible. So I mean, everybody has like a super high-end camera in their pocket. You know, why not have an intern or whoever it might be, the CEO put it to work and really see all the powerful marketing that you can do for such a low price. It's really great.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously I've just mentioned some of the healthcare people I work with, but you can have really small healthcare practices that say on what do you call it when you're back, chiropractors or physiotherapists. That's sort of,
chiropractors. Right.
And they can get involved in video straight away, themselves or whatever. I mean, obviously, animation, you don't automatically think of sort of. No, it's not that you don't think of a DIY, but it's not the same like filming.
It's definitely not the same, But
yeah. But of course, there's loads of ways of doing animation as a DIY job. So it can match to any budgets. But I don't know whether even more so than video, it's got this high conception of being expensive.
Exactly, right? Yeah.
But obviously, like everything, it's all relative. Something that's expensive to one person isn't expensive to someone else.
Thank you. Exactly.
And like there are the budget-friendly ways, and then there are the more expensive ways. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I mean, you usually get what you pay for. So I mean, like if there will always be an entry point, and there will always be somewhere that you can start out and just get your feet wet to see, is this something really that my business needs? Which I mean, I think 99% of businesses will actually benefit from it. But if you're not sure, you're on the fence, you just want to say, hey, I just want to get my feet wet. I want to step in. There are obviously ways to do that. And then once you start to see the return and the return on investment come in, then you're like, okay, now I want to put way more into this, and then then you can do that, and that's what's so powerful and so great about it.
Yeah, I mean, as I was just talking about before, that I had this client that did health insurance for developing worlds. So although they don't have any kind of like health insurances or many employee benefits over there.
Right. Yeah.
So they all can watch the videos on their
phone. Exactly. Yep.
Their plan was actually to send the videos out through Facebook Messenger. To make sure that their customers got the information videos. So their videos were more like an onboarding video rather than a marketing video, which is another type of video that is not to be underlooked, and it could because of that perhaps the language barriers and perhaps the main companies based in the UK, obviously they do have an office based, part of their business is based in Cambodia or whatever as well. Yeah. But certainly, it would help with all of that for them as well. But equally, basically people just want to consume the information in video. And I think when it's to do with healthcare, it can be quite either a sensitive subject matter or, just quite a serious subject matter. So you don't want to read reams and reams of writing.
Exactly.
A lot of NHS campaigns, they like to cover all bases, so they do video and they do a leaflet or a booklet as well. So they do cover other bases with it. And many marketing campaigns, even though as we discussed before, NHS are more like an awareness campaign. Many marketing campaigns, you need all kinds of different communication material. You don't just need to focus on one thing. You can be writing blogs as well as video and doing different social content things and different downloadable documents or whatever, or quizzes and things like that.
Right.
To engage with your audience or show your value to your audience. Definitely, like animation and video is totally part of a bigger, larger marketing campaign. It's not on its own as well. So certainly that is part of the reason why people should be bothered about video.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think perhaps as well, one of the benefits of animation is the flip side of it is the benefit of live action video. So say if you are dealing with really sensitive subject matters where you want a level of anonymity.
Exactly.
But if you are, say, like what we were saying before, a chiropractor or whatever, and the people want to know who's the person that's going to have their hands all over my body, then they can do a live action.
Exactly.
So there's definitely swings and roundabouts of both, or benefit, or have your strategy to use a little bit of both, and there's always a reason why you might want to use animation on one project compared to live action, because of things we just talked about.
It's great.
What I love to do, Robbie, and I haven't done a lot of, is like a talkie head video that someone's filmed live action, but then there's animated graphics going on explaining, visualizing whatever it is that they're explaining. I've seen a couple done that looked cool, but I've not had the chance to do that kind of project yet, so that would be cool.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like that's super powerful too. When you're using them both in conjunction. I mean, just because it will capture kind of both those audiences at the same time and use both of those purposes in a different way, which is really powerful. So, absolutely, yeah.
So, what I forgot to say, and I want to encourage if people do have questions to type them in below, and we can answer them.
Absolutely, that would be great. Yeah.
But meanwhile, we'll carry on giving out some information to people that might rouse questions from them. So maybe we've covered this a tiny bit already, but like, how can someone get started with using video to market their business, to promote their business?
Right. Yeah. So I think the first thing really that all companies need, at least it's like the one thing that I see that all companies need, is what we call a brand video. I don't know if like that's a term that anybody here is familiar with, but simply put, a brand video will like encompass what your brand is and explain what your brand is. So like if you visit a healthcare company's website, that might be the video that's playing in the background. Like I know like for my website, that's the video that plays in the background while you sort of peruse like everything else. So this brand video is really powerful because it allows you to write blogs, to do video animations, to do shoot off videos, or just other smaller projects that will all lead back to this brand video, sort of like a networking effect almost. And then they'll all lead back to this brand video, which will tie to your website, whatever it might be. That's like that home base for you and your marketing strategy. And it's really powerful for that because it's like a foundation to a home almost. You can build other rooms on top of it, then you're all going to tie it back to this brand video. So that's really where I recommend most people start. And again, I mean, you have under the assumption that you do have like a cell phone that has a really powerful camera, which honestly a lot of people do nowadays. They have it sitting right in their pocket. Just start with that, and really, it matters more about the content in the video than actually what you're shooting it on, in my opinion. So if you put some time aside and just start to brainstorm a few different ideas of what your brand is, a great thing to do is just to videotape everybody, doing their work, going about their day, just to really show, your viewers, your customers about who you are, because people love to see you kind of pull the curtain back a little bit and show them, exactly who you are. The personality behind the logo is what we like to say, show them the people behind the logo. And people will really react well to that because it's something that's really unique to video and to video animation, is showing them, what we do in the day's work. And that's really important. So definitely starting off with a brand video, I think is great. And if anybody has any questions about that, feel free to drop them below, and I'd be happy to answer them because it's really powerful. It's a really great thing to get into for sure.
I totally see what you're saying, Robbie, because I think a lot of people do straight away think about a video that encompasses everything about their business on like their homepage of their website.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought what was really interesting was you were saying that is kind of some kind of like cornerstone,
like a home base, right? Yeah,
coming in towards it. I think that's what some people don't think about. They think, right, I've done a big video now, and all these people are going to come and see it. And
exactly, right, yeah.
But no, you still have to help guide, signpost people to find your video, whether that be through other content or video content, or through other kinds of blogs and other kinds of articles, really pushing people to that video on your landing page. And I think that video on a specific landing page will really help convert people into becoming like patients or customers. Whereas, whereas perhaps some people have that misconception and think, oh, my video is going to attract lots of people. I think converting people is really, really good and really, really powerful in that respect. So definitely. So I think I would possibly call it an explainer video, but I'm not sure because I have
that's exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I have done brand videos as well when I think about it. So different variants on that. But one thing that I think could be an awesome top tip to get started, like you said, start out with your sort of explainer videos, but definitely look at some goals and objectives you want to achieve first, like what is going on with your marketing, what isn't quite working first, and then work out what kind of video you could make to help fix the holes and gaps in your marketing. So if you happen to conversion is a problem, then let's go with that. Exactly. But if, say, you've not got enough traffic to your website, you don't have enough inquiries, then making sure you've got other strategies in place alongside the video that does the conversion, or like I say, more videos to help attract people. So to get started, that's like the first starting point, is to establish some aims and objectives, and then work out what kind of content you can create to solve some of those marketing pains that you've got. Another top tip I was going to say for getting started is now you can use things like Canva, Spark, Adobe Spark, and there's a few other free video animation apps. One called Ripple, and the other one has like a fox on the icon, but I can't think what it's called, because I don't think it's, is it maybe Pixel something. Anyway, what you can do is you can create through those apps super short content, like 6 seconds long. And what you could do is my top tip, if it's like healthcare, a small healthcare company, like what we were talking before about, say, a chiropractor or whatever, you could create this video using some graphic templates that are there available to you on these apps, and you could create them to have a little mini animated testimonial from a customer. So you take a snippet of what they've said, like, "Oh my God, my back's amazing now," and obviously you could just say their initials and
or like just the first name or something generic.
And or a little thing of what kind of treatment they had or whatever. And if it's just moving a little tiny bit and they're sticking it on their social media feed, that should help stop the scroll. And they've just made it themselves. It's like quick and easy to have a go, or they could get someone else who works on their reception to have a go at making some of these things. Yeah, so that's a really good way to sort of get started when you've got like challenging budgets or whatever. Or so that's another top tip. Yeah,
and just to go around too to what you said, it was so brilliant. Like just the way that you will like diagnose a problem before like searching for a solution is so important. Like I can't push that enough for anybody watching. Anything video or video animation related, you should always be looking for a problem first before you're going to solve it. Because you said before too, a lot of people will say, okay, X amount of dollars, I want the video now where are my customers? It's like, well, what problem were you looking to solve in the beginning? So that's so important. That's just the way that, you should really be looking at all of this. And this is brilliant. So I wanted to comment about that. That's great.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I think it's because so many people do understand the potential value of video. They understand it's going to keep them on Google's radar. But beyond that, they don't realize the true power of it, the detail, the different levels of that power, and the different details of that power, because of the different types of content you can make. To them, our video is a type of marketing, not what type of
exactly.
Perhaps. So that, I think that's perhaps why people don't think about that. And then therefore, when they approach us, they just want a quote rather than looking for advice. They're just like, well, how much is this? Because I've already decided I want a video. So now I need to know what price it is. Yeah. So it's interesting that they've got that approach, because they perhaps already were sold on it already. You don't need to. Interesting.
That's good.
Okay, cool. So let's have another look at what else we can focus on to really help people. Yeah, so I wonder if we've kind of touched on this a little bit. Is there a secret formula to using video? And maybe because we started talking about having your strategy in plan at the beginning, we talked about that.
Exactly. Yeah. So
let's go on that. Go on.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you. So, that's kind of what I was touching on before. Is what I was going to say is it's really about having intentionality. No matter what creative medium that you're choosing, whether it be video animation, photography, blog, there's so many. I could go on forever. But really, it's about intentionality and having a plan of action. No matter what you're doing. So, like Kim said before, if you're going to be solving the problem of conversion, thinking about, okay, this video is aimed at conversion. So who's going to be watching it? So look at your demographics, like who's going to be watching it, what are those people like. I always recommend to create like an avatar of whoever that target audience is. Just that way you really pin down who they are. And, by saying creating an avatar, I just mean like writing down their age, their, what they might do in the day, where they might spend their time online, stuff like that. That way you can really tailor that video or that video animation, whatever that piece of work is, really tailoring that specifically to your audience. And hitting home to one person, I feel, is better than shouting at a random group of 100 people. So I think having that intentionality is really important. And, pinning down, saying, okay, Jane Doe or John Doe, this is the person that I'm going after, and this is exactly what they want to see, and this is when they need to see it on the exact platform that they need to see it. So it's really about planning it all out beforehand, and really thinking about what goes into that. And also on the same subject, thinking about what goes into that work of art. So that video animation, the content is way more important, in my opinion, than, like I said before, then what camera you're shooting it on, or then what software you're doing it in, or something like that. It matters far more about, what's actually on that, what's actually in that, what the content that it has. I mean, looking at a company like Apple, they did one of their most recent commercials on an iPhone, which is really speaks to their brand. I mean, it's all about, who the director is, and his or her understanding of how light works and all that stuff. So it's not always about the equipment. Really think about the story that you want to tell and who you want to tell it to. And I think that's a great place to start, for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Couldn't agree more. That's definitely one of the things I'd start with, is the customer avatar. Be really focused and clear on that. The sort of funny thing is, it's counterintuitive that when you try and aim for a really wide audience and aim for all of them, you tend to miss them all.
Exactly. Yeah.
Being really clear and specific on who your audience is, it will really, really resonate with them, and that's what you want. I would definitely agree with that. And obviously, we just talked about establishing your aims and objectives. That's definitely part of the magic formula. But I think as well, with healthcare, and obviously everybody uses Google to search for anything and everything.
Right.
Obviously, of course, Google is our new doctor, where we're like, oh my God.
Yep. Exactly. Yep. That's so funny. Yeah.
There are like loads of health forums where people are talking about, especially if they've got long-term chronic illnesses, loads of people are out there having conversations about their healthcare, their health problems. And research is showing that people are enjoying seeking out that kind of content, where people who they're looking for really relatable stories where someone's got the same condition as them. Absolutely. And they'll want to follow them on YouTube or follow their blogs or whatever, and see their journey of care, of whatever, or their struggle of whatever it is that they're suffering with. And this can be mental health, it could be a physical chronic condition or something like that. So, healthcare experts need to be visible out there in amongst these conversations as well. And maybe somehow some kind of formula could be working alongside, an advocate, like it's almost like an influencer,
right?
Patient advocate, working alongside people like that to create their content, as well. Or equally, it doesn't have to be someone who's already out there creating those kind of videos. Someone who is a patient and things have worked really well, working with them and getting their story out there through you could be really good, because people are really interested in consuming that kind of story, because they want to feel understood. And obviously, if someone's going through the same thing as them, they feel understood, and there's so much great value of being with other people who are at the same stage or the same problems as you. So hence why, I don't know if they do this in America, but in the UK, you tend to, if you're expecting a baby, you go to like baby classes, and everybody knows that kind of the main reason for going to baby classes is to meet other couples having babies. So you've got your new baby friends. So so that's common. People do that. I'm gonna assume.
Absolutely.
So it's the same kind of thing. So how can you create that kind of community almost
Mm-hmm.
that you can be helping. So I think that is another interesting formula to really think about, and using video content as part of that formula to create a community.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's so powerful too. Yeah, I mean, especially I mean, I'll touch on it later as well, but I mean, just that whole idea of being with somebody else that's like-minded as you, or not so much like-minded, but that's in the same position as you. And then having those different minds kind of cooperate together is so powerful. So yeah, it's great.
Coolio. So let's have a look. Let's have a look and see if we've got any audience questions. The thing is, I've posted it in a few places now. So
Yeah, I was gonna say, so it's a little bit of a, you're looking through a few, right? Yeah.
Oh, cool. Over there it says that I'm live now. Live, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. Perfect. Oh yeah, right, in videos.
Yeah, that's cool. I'll just check on the event page as well, see if there's any other questions. Oh, it's slow to load now, of course, because I'm streaming, so it's like
right, yeah.
Yeah.
So the internet's chugging along, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's cool on our event. It says happening now. Yes, it is. It also tells us the weather, or the rain, because obviously I'm in the UK. Of course, it's raining. It's relevant to our, because it's an online event, but Facebook doesn't know that.
Right. Yeah.
Right. Cool. No questions coming through just yet. I mean, sometimes people are shy, or they're enjoying what we're talking about anyway.
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So how can someone reach out and work with you if they want to, Rob, or what's the best way for them to work with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you want to talk to me specifically, you can go to calendly.com/newvisionmedia. There you can schedule a call with me if you'd like to, but the place where I would send most people is newvisionmedia.co. It's .co, not .com. But if you go there, you can view all of our work. That way you can really see, is this somebody that does the same type of work? So for example, I work with like healthcare and nonprofit companies. So if that does fall under someone who sounds like you, then that's absolutely a perfect match. And all my contact information is there. That way if you need to call, email, find me on social media, it's all right there. You can also see, like I said, examples of our past work, but also learn a little bit more about us and who I am. That way, I think it's really important because there's a million people that do video production out there, but thank you so much. But there's only one of me. There's only one of you, and I'm going to vibe differently with different people. The same thing with you. It's like you're working with the person as well. So I mean, I feel like that's very important. So feel free to reach out to me there. And yeah, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it, Kim.
Cool. So it was newvisionmedia.co, not com.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Thank you.
Good. I got it right. Okay, cool. Yeah, so I've just put that in the comments if anybody wants to check out Robby. And for those of you that don't know, I'm actually running a free 5-day challenge that starts on Monday. So it's quite timely. Look at that. How funny is that?
Absolutely, yeah.
I've got an event on Monday. So from Monday, I'm doing a free 5-day challenge to plan your animation in 5 days. So people can join in on that totally for free. And I give you a task a day. And by the end of the 5 days, you'll be really, really clear on the kind of video animation that's right for your business. Some of the messages you want to include, you're really clear on your audience. So you can go ahead and instruct someone like me or Robby, or go ahead and do a DIY job at starting your video marketing journey. Because I think perhaps maybe some people they're struggling to get clarity on some of those things, so perhaps it does stop them from moving forward and actually reaching out to someone like us, because they think, oh no, but I've got to have all of my messages worked out. I don't really know what I want to say, and I haven't worked any of that out yet. Or they perhaps they just need a guiding hand, especially if they're doing a DIY job. You know, they've got a challenging budget, but it doesn't mean that they can't get some kinds of expert advice.
Right,
So that's
exactly.
why I've set up the challenge in the group, and that is so that I can help even more people, because I can help other people who perhaps do have challenging budgets, as well as my normal clients and stuff like that. So yeah.
And I would like to attest to just, I mean, like the power behind also being with, like I was talking before about the being with people in the same place as you. So like if you're doing that challenge, there's other people also signing up for that challenge, which is so important. I mean, just to reach out to those people, you know, you're all in the same place, and I think you all will be able to, you know, network and really share and learn from Kim's you know, expertise and everything like that. Just to go through a program like that where you have an expert explaining stuff to you in such an easy to learn fashion, I think is so rare. As somebody who is going through college, I mean, I feel like it's so much more valuable to learn from someone like Kim than it would be from like, I don't know, like a professor or something like that, just because there's so much less distance. I mean, like you are right there. I'm sure Kim would you know, help you out so much if you needed it, which I think it's so valuable. And you know, you also get that same like classroom setting with, you know, like a virtual classroom with other people, you know, to your left and your right on Facebook there. It's so valuable. So I can't recommend it enough. Absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say, Robbie. But yeah, that's it as well. And basically creating a community where there's going to be a load of like-minded people that are going through the same thing. And also, I think perhaps, you know, how perhaps what some people do struggle with before they maybe instruct someone like me or you is they're inside their business and they can't get their heads outside.
Right. Exactly.
Sometimes they are struggling to see things from their customer's point of view. So someone in a different business might be like, oh, hey, you know, I would think of this, or I would feel this. And they're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, that's so good. Yeah.
So, yeah, there's benefits from that as well. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I think some people don't perhaps see that. So, obviously, we've been talking a lot about animation and video and our businesses and healthcare, but let's try and think of some little fun quick fire questions here, Robbie.
Absolutely.
What is something that no one else knows about you, Robbie?
What's something that no one else knows about me? That's a great question. I mean, so I mean, I'll just share a little bit about myself. So I mean, like, I live in the United States. So obviously, like most of your demographic is probably from like the England area and the Britain area, Europe over there. But yes, I'm from the United States. I'm currently a college student as well as having a business, which is something that I tell very little people, because typically there's like the connotation that because I'm still a student that I can't be an expert about anything, which is absolutely not true. So yeah, so again, like seeing with you know, just like talking about with Kim, I mean, like there's so much power in having that expert right there, because you know, me being a college student, seeing so many professors that are just so incredibly distant, and people pay way more for college than they will ever pay for just for some expert, you know, advice between two people. So I think there's just such a powerful connection there. But yeah, so if anybody knows, I go to Ithaca College. That's a great college up on the East Coast. So if anybody wants to check that out, absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, no, I didn't know that about you. And,
yeah.
You know, showing like a different side to you there by showing sort of something that makes you feel a little bit vulnerable almost.
Yeah.
So something that not very many people know about me maybe is that I enjoy snowboarding. I'm a snowboarder. Not really doing much snowboarding.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, I've not got anything planned for this winter, but like in the past, I did do a ski season out in France and worked out there for the whole season and stuff like that. That was ages ago. So yeah. I'm into snowboarding, and some people might not know that I'm a brownie guide leader. Now I know that in America you don't call it brownies; it's Girl Scouts.
Oh no, yeah, but they there's a level in Girl Scouts called Brownie.
Oh, there is.
Brownie
Ah,
Scouts or
yeah.
Brown. My girlfriend actually was a brownie girl. I don't know exactly what they're called, but she was one of them. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
So
great.
in the UK, brownies are girls aged 7 to 10, and then after brownies they go to guides. So I think guides is
Nice.
more like Girl Scouts maybe, and then
Right. Yeah.
maybe Brownie Scouts is like what we have.
Yeah, that's
Brownie
cool.
Guides. Yeah. So I volunteer with that. It's a completely voluntary organization. I assume it is in America as well, because
Mhm.
it is a global thing, isn't it? Scouting and guiding. It's not
Yeah.
specific to the UK. So yeah, and just help plan the different activities for the kids and stuff like that. So
Yeah, that's so great. That's awesome.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's really enjoyable. Okay, so how about Robbie? What, and some of these are completely unprepared. Robbie doesn't know some
Right.
of the
Yeah.
I'm thinking of. You think of some for me as well, by the way.
Perfect. Yeah.
What is your key to success, Robbie? What do you think?
Key to success. That's a great question. I mean, because so I think honestly, the key to success is not thinking. This is such a. I feel like it's such a cliche answer, but for me, the key to success is not thinking that there is like one single key. It's having the idea that you're always a student, and that's why I share it. Yeah, I go to college. I go to class. I learn new things every single day. That's my main job right now, and I think that while a structured education forever is obviously not something that's like attainable, but I think people should always be learning, and I think that if you're going to things like Kim's class, watching YouTube videos or paying for different classes online, I think is so incredibly important, and just maintaining that education of maintaining the attitude of saying, hey, yeah, I might be an expert, but I don't know every single thing out there, and that there are other areas that you can master that will definitely contribute to your business. I think that's so important, and just really maintaining that mindset of, okay, I can learn from other people, and like I love just the idea that I can walk into a room, and no matter what, there's someone in that room that can teach me something. So I think that's really something that everybody should really keep in mind, and then use that moving forward. Always educate yourself.
Yeah, cool, definitely. I really agree with that. I think when I first graduated from uni, we call it rather than college.
Right. Yeah.
I thought like, oh my God, yes, this is it now. And I didn't necessarily
I made it.
yeah. I didn't necessarily think, oh, my learning's finished.
Right.
I just thought, this is it now. And it's just so not like that. Of course, my learning
Right.
is going on. And I've learned like new software along the way, so that counts as learning. And,
like hard skills, stuff like that. Yeah.
And also, learning and developing all the soft skills, because at first I was employed and then I became self-employed. So I had to learn everything about being self-employed and finding new clients and doing business development, doing more public speaking and things like that. So that I hadn't done before. So that was all learning new things. So they're perhaps considered soft skills, but they are still important.
Right.
And like,
absolutely.
The how-to searches and type videos that you get on YouTube show how much the learning doesn't stop, because that's such a powerful and important sort of search term on YouTube or something tutorials. It's always coming up in my. I even search for things like hair and makeup. Not that you can tell today.
Oh yeah, no, it's so funny. I have like
that. Yeah. So learning never stops. Definitely. Okay, cool. So, Robbie, have you thought of a question to ask me?
Yeah, sure. So, I mean, like, what's your favorite part about what you do? Now, not necessarily like video animation, but just like being self-employed, being like owning, Kim and Animates, and just doing everything that you do. Like, what's your favorite part? I'm curious.
Yeah, I think it is definitely the freedom that comes with being self-employed.
Absolutely.
It's not to be underestimated, and I think that perhaps lots of employed people do think about it and do think that is the main reason why they want to be self-employed too. But just not having to answer to someone, it sounds so lame. Like, why would that make a difference?
It's so nice though.
Yeah, it just does. And just making so many other decisions about how I'm going to spend my time or spend my day, fitting other things around my business. Even though saying that, I spend a lot of my time sort of 9 till 6 p.m. sat exactly here where we are now in front of my computer.
Yeah, right.
Generally, that is what I do, which is what I would do if I was employed. But you know, I don't. The point is, I don't have to, and
exactly.
For whatever I need to do, and not having to try and justify things to someone else or whatever. The effect of that is massive. So yeah, it sounds like a cliche as well for your answer.
No, but it's so true though. It's so true. So I think that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. Cool. So I'm just noticing the time now. We've been blobbering away. Well, hopefully offering amazing quality value.
Exactly.
For nearly 50 minutes now. Is there anything else you want to add, Robby? Like one final point, like Jerry Springer used to do?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's perfect, right? I mean, like for final points, I would just say, you know, no matter what you're doing, just for like general life advice, just do it intentionally. You know, I don't think that necessarily everything has to have a point to it. Like obviously, you know, not everything has to be so structured, but I mean, just especially in business, you know, when you're looking to purchase a video, I mean, it's weird to phrase like that, but you know, no matter what you're doing with video and video animation, do it intentionally and have a strategy behind it. So,
yeah, cool. I like it. I would agree with you on that, but I kind of want to come up with my own final point.
Perfect.
Well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's hard. I would agree with you on that one. I would think the other final point. I've just checked out our video and it says we've reached 104 people, Robby. So that's good.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
But what would my final point be for all these 104 people? What would my final point be? I think as well, perhaps thinking about some of those blockers that are preventing you from taking action with your marketing. And it's a lot about mindset and a lot about and I bet you're guilty of this, I'm guilty of this, serving your current customers and not serving yourself as well. So you've got to serve yourself as well in terms of that business development and that marketing. So if you're doing lots of marketing, then your business development will become easier, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool. Thanks so much because it was Robby, you reached out to me originally ages ago. So thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on.
If anyone else is interested, me and Robby met through a Facebook group. So just again goes to show the power of community.
Absolutely, right? Yeah.
We met through talking on a video like this. And Robby reached out to me and then I said, hey, I think we should do a live video together.
Right. And I said, of course, because why not, right? So perfect.
So we'll definitely do something else like this again in the future, or maybe something that's more webinar-y. Maybe we could do something like that. People are into that. So we're doing perhaps having more visuals to help aid what we're saying or guide people a bit more, give them perhaps the next level of detail there. We could do something like that. Yeah,
that's good to me.
Cool. Thanks so much for meeting with me, Robby, online.
Thanks so much for having me, Kim. It's a pleasure.
Yep. Yeah. Great. Awesome. And we'll both see everyone again soon, I'm sure.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Have a great night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.